President Obama and Republican senators are in a fierce standoff. The president nominating Merrick Garland to replace Antonin Scalia and become the nation's 113th Supreme Court justice. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley both have rejected the nomination. Yesterday, 21 Republican state attorneys general signed a letter thanking McConnell and Grassley for blocking the nomination hearings. Joining me now, one of the letter's signees, Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. Nice to see you, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Question for you. Do you have a problem with Judge Garland specifically, or is it simply the idea of President Obama nominating any Supreme Court justice, and that's why you're thanking the Republican leadership in the Senate?
Well, those are two questions. And first, I can tell you that, of course, Justice Scalia was one of the greatest jurists of all time. His judicial philosophy should be shared by the next nominee. And I believe that Judge Garland's philosophy stands in stark contrast to that of Justice Scalia. Justice Scalia, if this happened, this would create a liberal majority for the court that could last for decades and affect all of us for years to come. And it is and we applaud the Republican attorneys general. We applaud Senators McConnell and Grassley for standing strong and fighting for that right, because we know the impact, of course we all do, that the United States Supreme Court has over so many important issues, including the Second Amendment. And, you know, the Heller case could be overturned with this if he's confirmed. And they have every legal right to do so. In the Constitution, it says that the president, under Article 2, can nominate a Supreme Court justice, but the Senate advises and consents. And that's called checks and balances. And that's why we have that. And you have to remember, in 2012, the Democrats, America elected a Democrat president, but in 2014, Americans elected a Republican Senate. And it is in their right, their direct right, to hold this nomination until the next president.
Well, they've certainly said they will hold it. I'm interested how this is playing in Florida. This is the talk of the town in Washington. Obviously, it's a big political theme out on the campaign trail. But are folks in Florida, in Gainesville, in Tallahassee, and Orlando, are they talking about the Supreme Court nominations and how this plays into the presidential election?
Of course. I think that's so very important. Of course, in the legal world, everyone's talking about it. And, you know, when the New York Times comes out with an article that says that if Judge Garland is confirmed, it would tip the ideological balance to create the most liberal Supreme Court in 50 years. And right now, we are arguing so many important issues. And Justice Scalia was a solid conservative on the court. And so, yes, it's very important, and that's why we have a Republican Senate, and that's why we have checks and balances in our country, and the Republican attorneys general are so proud and applaud Senators McConnell and Grassley. Well,
you have applauded Senators McConnell and Grassley. Another person that you've applauded lately is Donald Trump. You recently endorsed him as president. Interestingly enough, though, back last year, you endorsed Jeb Bush for president.
I did.
They are two very different men. We've got about 30 seconds. Explain the big flip.
You know, I was a career prosecutor. I guess you could call me part of the establishment now, because I've been Attorney General for 5 years. I'd never run for office. I have always chosen the person that I support based on not what I see in the paper, not what I read, but the person I know. I know Jeb Bush. I've known Jeb Bush and his family for 15 years. I know his heart. I know what a great man he is. And I know Donald Trump. And Donald, I see how he interacts with his family. I see that his employees love him. I know Donald. And I believe that Donald Trump will be president for two reasons. Well, he's going to get to 1237, but here's why we have to have him. We can't have a contested convention. Here's why. Two reasons. Number one, Hillary Clinton will be president if we do. And number two, we are going to lose a very important pick on the United States Supreme Court.
Well, we will see how it all plays out. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Pam Bondi, Attorney General down in Florida. See you soon.